Welcome back to the Green Logbook. Now today it's going to be all about VR&E, Veterans, Readiness, and Employment. Okay, I'm breaking down the real information to getting approved for your bachelor's or your master's degree through the VR&E. Now I've seen a lot of veterans online posting about how they're being denied or just simply confused about the process. But here's the truth. Most of the time, it's not because you're unqualified that you're being denied. It's simply because you're not presenting the plan the correct way to your VRC, your Veterans Readiness Counselor. I recently got approved for a master's program under the VR&E. I'm going to walk you through exactly what I did and what I learned along the way. So let's go. Okay, today we're going to cover a few things. Picking the right career program for you, locking in your education major, how to research your career on BLS.gov, that's the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the job search portion that counselors want to see, and how to justify your plan the right way. So make sure you stick around to the end because this is the kind of information that most veterans never see. First off, I want to take a few seconds to talk about what VR&E really is. VR&E isn't the same thing as the GI Bill. It's a completely different animal. This program is not just a rehabilitation tool. It's an education benefit that helps veterans with service-connected disabilities prepare for, find, and maintain suitable employment. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about picking the right career field for you. Now, this is the whole foundation of the whole VR&E plan. If your career field does not make sense, none of this will. All right, you've got to pick something that you are interested in doing, but also that is sustainable. Right, that means that it should match your skills, it should match your goals and your disability, your VA disability limitations. If you've got some kind of knee or back issues, you might want to skip careers that have anything to do with like heavy lifting or physical jobs. If you're managing PTSD or stress or anxiety or something like that, maybe you want to avoid high stress environments or high stress career fields. Here's a few examples. If you have chronic pain, consider project coordination, project management, something like an HR or something administrative. If you have hearing loss, maybe you want to look at something in cybersecurity or IT, or if you're struggling with PTSD or TBI, maybe something remote or structured, maybe something in logistics or something in tech. But your goal here is to find a career field that lets you thrive, not simply just stay stagnant or just survive. When you talk to your counselor, you want to say something to the effect of, and hold on, foot stomp, foot stomp, foot stomp. All right, we all know about that if we were in the military, right? This career path allows me to use my skills without aggravating my service-connected disabilities, and it provides long-term, stable employment. That, my friends, is some legit language. All right, moving on to researching your career using BLS.gov. Now open up a new tab and open BLS.gov. All right, you're going to come to a website like this. Go all the way down and you're going to click on the Occupational Outlook Handbook, this gray thing right here. I already have it open here. Occupational Outlook Handbook. And then you're going to want to find the career you want to get into. I mean, they got a ton of careers here. You know, you can do, I was just clicking around on some. You could be a candy puller, whatever the hell that is. You can be a sausage smoker if you want. Again, they have all these careers on here. You can choose whatever you want. But for the ease of it, we're going to look at Human Resources Specialist. All right, so I already have it pulled up. Human Resources Specialist. And we're going to see a couple pieces of information here. You're going to see the 2024 median pay. You're going to see the typical entry-level education. Let me see here. And you're going to look at the job outlook for the next 10 years. And it's 6% faster than average. If it says average, faster than average, or much faster than average growth, that is a good sign. Those are the type of careers you want to look at getting into. Now, you want to make sure that you have the median pay, the job outlook, and the education requirements written down. Save those somewhere and use that in your justification, okay? For example, foot stomp, foot stomp, foot stomp. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment for human resources specialists is projected to grow 6% from 2024 to 2034, much faster than average. Most positions require a bachelor's in human resources or management in this field, and we're going to get into those positions here shortly. Now, once you've established your education degree, okay, in this case, I'm just simply, for the sake of this video, looking at human resources specialist. Now you need to make a connection, okay? VR&E counselors or your VRCs want to see a connection. Here's the rule. If your chosen job requires a degree and not just recommends it, then you're on the right path. All right. For example, if you want to be a teacher, a bachelor's or maybe a master's degree is required. If you're looking to become a project manager, a degree in business or management is usually required. And when it comes to picking the right school for you, make sure 3 things are listed. Make sure that they are accredited, VA approved, and it fits your learning style, like online, in person, or hybrid, whatever one you choose. Just remember this big tip here. If you take an in-person or a hybrid class, you're going to qualify for the monthly housing allowance, the full monthly housing allowance, which is equivalent to the post 9/11 GI Bill's E5 with dependence rate. If you're going to go online only, you're only going to rate the online housing allowance rate, which is usually about half that, or about a flat rate of about $1,054 as of this video. So I'll put the updated amount in the description. But another big thing to remember is even if you're taking 1 hybrid class per term, that could qualify you for the full monthly housing allowance rate. So make sure you check with your school before enrolling. Okay, now we're switching gears into looking into job postings, okay? This is another thing that your VRC is going to ask you for. They're going to ask for about 10 job postings for the career field that you want, and it has to hit certain check boxes on there. So let's get right into it. They want to see that employers actually require the degree that you're asking for. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go on some sites like Indeed or LinkedIn or USA Jobs. Let's switch over to Indeed. All right. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. It just happens to be the first site that I thought of. So Indeed, and I went on here. There's a ton of human resources type of positions, benefits analyst, human resource generalist, things like that. This one just happens to be in Plano, Texas, the one I pulled up here. And you're going to go down to the education piece. As you can see here, desired skills and experience, a bachelor's degree in business, HR, communications, or liberal arts, or other applicable degree, that will get you in with a bachelor's degree in human resources, in HR, in business, communications, something like that. But remember, you need 10 of these. Unless your VRC says otherwise, I did it across different websites. I used Monster, I used LinkedIn, Indeed, things like that. So now moving on to the justification piece. This is where most veterans either make it or break it. All right. Your justification is really what ties everything together. Your degree plan, your career plan, and your VA disability. All right. This is the part that convinces your counselor that your plan makes sense. All right. Foot stomp, foot stomp, foot stomp. This degree is essential for me to gain employment that matches my abilities and doesn't aggravate my disabilities, my service-connected disabilities. Okay, again, foot stomp, foot stomp, foot stomp. All right, write this part down if you want to. Based on my experience, my limitations and goals, this human resources and management bachelor's degree is necessary for me to achieve suitable long-term employment in a career that will provide long-term employment and accommodates my disabilities. According to the BLS.gov statistics and job postings attached showing a need within this career field, this degree will allow me to transition into a role that's stable, in demand, and sustainable. Now, I haven't created a justification for every career track or every educational track here. I'm currently building something out called the Veterans Readiness Blueprint course. Okay, it's going to contain templates, examples, and the exact wording that I used to get my master's degree approved through the VR&E. So that is currently in the works. All right, now let's pull this all together. Here is your blueprint. All right, pick a career field that's right for your skills and your VA rated disability. Choose a degree program that's required for that career. Back it up with BLS.gov data that shows demand and education requirements. Add real job postings to prove that employers are actually hiring for this career field. And craft a clear professional justification that ties everything all together. If you do those 5 things, your plan will make sense to your counselor. Another thing that I want you to understand is that your experience with your counselor may vary. All right, different counselors work in different ways. My advice to you is just approach everyone, all your counselors, whoever you're dealing with respect, and most likely you will get the same back. So with that, if this video has helped you out in any way or provided you just a little bit more information, please drop a like, subscribe, and consider becoming a member of the Green Logbook for more information, more videos coming up in the near future. I'm dropping one every Monday, and if you are a member, you're going to get first looks at all that information and some member exclusives coming up soon. Make sure you look out for my Veterans Readiness Blueprint dropping soon. Now with all that, go out and use those benefits that you've earned.